Okay, so
I've lost your voice already.
seriously,
Yeah, now I can hear
I
you.
okay. So hi everyone, this is Parveen Tuli here, and today is 26th January, and happy freedom to all. And I would like all of you guys to, when we're talking about freedom, I would today one of our guests is the guest that we have today is Monica Bhagwagar. Most of
Hello.
you who resides in Nagpur might be very aware of this name. She is the lady that most of the people admire and look up to her as a mentor for encouraging and empowering society and women, especially, to work more and to create a career even after having kids and after marriage and all of that. So, hi, Monica. Thank you so much for sparing your time and being present here with us. Thanks a lot for joining in.
Thank you for asking me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. And now that we are working together in many other projects, I'm sure that under your flagship is going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds great. And it's okay, Monica. So, I would like to first, so something that this is something that we ask all our audience who comes here is instead of me introducing you and talking about you, who knows you better than you? So we give you a minute or two, however you wish to. And if you were introducing Monica Bhagwawar and you would like to talk about her and a journey which starts early from childhood to now, please let us know what is it that we would like to know about her that only you know.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, how would you perceive Monica Bhagwagar? I am a mix of many cultures. My father is a Pahari Brahmin from Himachal, my mom's Punjabi, and my husband's a Parsi. So it's a real cocktail of letter P, all different P communities. I have changed 14 schools and colleges, and I'm thrilled about it because I have learned a lot. So when I hear new moms or young moms talking, oh my God, my kid won't be able to adjust. He has to go to a different school. I'm amazed because kids are very resilient. They adjust and adapt much better than probably we could even imagine them to. So, having said that, it was a great journey. You named the city, and I've been there, and the best of schools and colleges. I'm very proud of my education. And that is why I'm here on this platform to discuss education and working moms. I
That's
have done
brilliant.
my I have done my master's from Stella Maris College, Chennai, in English literature, and MPhil from Nagpur University, and my public relations and advertising from Bhavans, Chennai. And yeah, I really enjoyed school thoroughly. I love college. It was a good growing up sessions. I mean, good growing up for me. Yeah.
That's brilliant, and thank you for letting us know because that inspired all of us to really get connected. And every time we meet you, you have a lot of add-ons and new information and the
Yeah.
zest for living.
So yeah,
That
maybe I should also share with you that I've worked with American Life and Time magazines. I have been a lecturer at JT Birla College. I work with Apple Industries, now commonly known as AppTech. I've been a teacher at Centerpoint. I have done a project with ITC. I have worked with Welcome Group, Chola Sheraton, and Adyar Park. I mean, it's been a very varied experience. And I chose to do this myself, not for earning money, but for earning lots and lots of experience and make different kind of associations with friendships.
that's brilliant. So, and actually, in a discussion, you only told us like, why don't we come up with a topic? Because nobody talks about women who choose to work after marriage or maybe after having kids and their journey, their challenges, and their rewards. So let us talk about the challenges and most few of them that we've asked in the group. Like, what are the common challenges that any mother who chooses to work after having a baby face? One of them is first to decide whether they want to work or not work after having a baby and what is the correct time, like how much period that with the little babies their little ones require, and when to move out of the house and how to do it. And would you like to start with that?
See, I would first begin with my own personal experience as to why I chose to work. I have been working since a very young age. as I told you, because I wanted to gain experience and I like to do things, I like to be busy. As regards working after marriage and working after having kids, it was also due to some financial pressure because I married my husband who was just 21, and I was very proud of adding to my little family kitty when we were young. So I was working because of that one reason as well. Besides enjoying myself and doing the kind of work that I was doing as a teacher and at CCIT as a center head at Aptech, a fulfilling journey. Now, I chose because the way I'm conditioned, I like to be very independent financially. It's very important to me. And something with other than that is very important to me is my own independent entity. I I'm very proud of being Rukshat Bhagwagar's wife, but I'm also more proud of being just me. So this was in my जो बोलते हैं जहन में था बचपन से ही तब से ये है. So that is why I chose to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
And when you had babies, so like, were you still working, and did you take a break, and how did that work?
no,
And
no, no.
how do you, like, there are so many moms that I know after having a baby, they are like in this pendulum space of, is it a yes or no? When should I get out of her? Should I start working? Or maybe I'll again have to conceive and have a baby. Should I take a break or stuff like that? So how do you, there are problems that these women face. So how do you encourage them to be always in a space of growth and evolving themselves with all these added responsibilities that those are also priorities?
So first of all, when is the right time? There's no right time. The time will tell you itself. When you are confident of yourself and of your baby and your support structure, you know.
Yeah.
And the first and foremost, the trouble that I find all the young moms who want to work is the support structure. At the end of the day, you're answerable to your in-laws and to your husband. And if they are not in favor of your starting to work, it is a huge hurdle. So you have to take a conscious decision as to whether you want to work or not. Now, I would recommend do work if you can with all your support. And I'm not talking about the Aya syndrome. I'm not so much for that. I do not believe in this japa buys. I'm sorry if you're. I'm sorry about that, but I don't believe in japa buys. I don't believe in the ayahs. Having said that, I did have them all, but I also had a very considerate boss. A boss who was very considerate. He let me go home whenever I needed to go. I could come home and check on the kids and again go back. So that worked for me. But as the kids grew older, it became a little difficult because the demands were more. So therefore, I quit working because they were in hours and I was answerable to somebody else and the business happened. So then my time became my own time and I could juggle with the kids. I mean, I have funny stories of taking my little baby and breastfeeding her in the car on the roadside because I'm heading to perhaps meet a client or going to my workplace. So we've done all that. But it's not that difficult because once you make up your mind, you have to get your whole system in place. You have to get your system in place and you don't have to work full hours. See, when you're working in a job, then you have an issue because you have time constraints. But I think today the bosses, if you are a good worker and if you are really delivering well, the bosses are accommodating. I think so.
Yeah, truly. So also there is something which is called as the guilt pangs. Like all the mothers, I think there is a background movie going on when especially when the kids are young, or maybe they are like not very independent or stuff like that. So there are this continuous moving going on in the backside of your mind, like, oh, maybe my baby needs me now, or maybe your kids actually tell you something, oh mama, you're still going, or xyz, and then you have these guilt pangs that come up. How you did you went through them, A, and the B, if what are the tools and what is the mechanism you actually created to have ease with it?
In all honesty, I did have the guilt pangs occasionally. I did have them, but then I balanced my thinking by saying that, hello, I am setting an example in front of my children. They are growing up seeing how hard her mom is working. Their growing years, they may have missed me on happy occasions like say Diwali because that's my peak period of working at Paper Age, and I was working very very late hours. And but then, in retrospect, I feel my kids will appreciate the kind of hard work and the time that I put in my business and doing things that they can be proud of because I'm sure they're proud of me for what I've done. And as regards the guilt pangs, like I said, there's only way you condition yourself mentally that this too shall pass. And you're doing this in a very
I,
positive manner.
I definitely know your son is very proud of you. He's here and watching the live as well.
Oh. And
Abby,
if any of my kids ask a question, please ignore both of them.
oh, that's just a joke, I guess. Okay,
Hmm.
so there's something that you talked about support system. So what advice, or if somebody doesn't have a support system like maybe you created or you had, or and a woman still desires to work, and maybe it's just a choice in a world to grow and create more, what is that an ecosystem that she can have to create that space for her to grow, and because you have been conditioned like that, as you said. But I know there are so many people that come to us being counselors and stuff like that. They really have this mid-age crisis going on where they think we would love to do something, but we don't know where to start. Maybe we had a huge gap of 10 years or stuff like that where we dedicated to families and dedicated to motherhood and stuff like that, and we do not know how to begin or where to go, what's next. So these what advice and how do, because
I
you
think
have
you
been
asked too
working with a
many
lot of
questions.
NGOs and as well as you are a social entrepreneur, so how do you invite them and let allow them to choose, or how do you give them guidelines to where to start?
I think you asked me too many questions in one breath, Parveen. I think if no worries. I can sense your anxiety in this because I know you yourself are a young mom and you are 24/7 working as well, and you're on calls and you're interviewing people and you're doing things, and I'm very proud of you, personally speaking. I'm really proud of you, and I think there's lots to learn from you and your partner Jyoti. Hats off to you both. Okay, so when is the right time? You began with asking that when is the right time to go back to work. Again, I said that timing will tell itself when the kids are growing up. If you are living in a joint family and if you take in your in-laws support, you can, today the in-laws are young, they have changed, they're not like the old-fashioned in-laws who were very rigid in their thinking. So I think you could perhaps take your in-laws into confidence, and trust me, best teachers in the world are grandparents. Best disciplinarians are grandparents, which in nuclear families is being lost right now. So if you're in a joint family and if your in-laws are in your circle of decisions, it will help. Your husband should be supporting, that will help. So you have to take them into consideration, have a chat with them, talk to them, work in an environment where they are feeling positive about you going off to work, right? And second thing, if you can work from home, that will really help, because if you're working from home, then you are at home for if your kid needs you, right? So
Yeah.
if you have to step out and work, then you have to have very good house help and your in-laws to take care of them or oversee the maids taking care of the children. Because I feel if you leave the children entirely at the mercy of the maids, it's little tough. It's little tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
So
There is a question which is also like, do you feel like your professional skills are up to date? What do you do to keep pace with your work? I think that's a personal question to you. But also, adding to this, I would like to really give a question which is like, sometimes there is so much desire to grow in career, but then you do in the back of your minds and think about, oh, maybe if I do pay too much attention here, this might get a little distracted being a parent or taking care of the kids. So, does being a mother slow you down while choosing and growing in a career?
slow you down in your own career, is it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it does, because if you're working for a boss and if he says that you start traveling and if you can't, then your chances of growing in that particular company therefore duly get limited. So, like I said, if you have a choice to work from your home, it's best because you are your own boss and you can decide your own pace of working with your kids when they're still very young. But yeah, if you're pursuing a career in a company, then you have to adjust. You have to do what the boss is telling, because then the timings and everything is absolutely crucial.
yeah. Thank you. So there is one more aspect or point of view about what happens when you are working and your kids do not perform well, and your kids face challenges in schools or maybe teachers, or they are all like, okay, this requires attention, this is not working, and etc. So because in one of our conversations you mentioned that if you are working and your kids do not perform well in mediocre, then all the advices from all, maybe from family, from teachers, from everywhere starts pouring up, like how you have to really slow yourself down because this requires more attention, maybe all of that. So how do you deal with judgment when it comes from when when everybody else is advising you how to not go so fast or do not take a road which is um, that it's maybe you're too selfish to only think about yourself or stuff like that.
So, where I'm personally concerned, I would do admit that I did go through the tuition syndrome, even though I was
Okay.
against it. Okay. But I had no choice because I was lousy in maths. So, there was no way I could teach my children maths or Sanskrit or Hindi, stuff like that. I did go through it. And because I was unhappy that they were going through this typical tuition syndrome and the Aya syndrome and the driver G dropping them, coming home from school, then going for tuition, I decided to send them to a boarding school. I'm not advising that, but I was very ambitious for my children from education point of view, and today I tell you I'm paying the price for it because they both don't want to come back to Nagpur. But they have excelled academically, of which I'm really relieved, thrilled, and very proud of, and very happy. But having said that, see, everything comes at a cost.
Yeah.
You have to pay a price for something if you have to gain something. There's no pain, there's no gain without pain, right?
Yeah.
So if you feel that your children are performing badly, वो कहेंगे माँ तो काम पे गई थी, बच्चे लोग तो फिर खाने को कौन है? अरे, it's not just the mother's job. It's the today's fathers. I noticed one good thing: are more involved in the children's education and lives. I remember when I was young and I was a teacher at Center Point. Quite a few fathers didn't even know कि उनके बच्चे कौन सी class में हैं. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I know they didn't know what are they doing in studies and how are they performing, nothing. But today's young fathers, I feel, are far more involved with the children's upbringing. So it's not just the mother's headache to bring up the children and take care of the studies. I don't agree with that. I think if the parent has to do, father and the mother together, they have to do it together. If mother is working, the father can step in sometime, and vice versa. I mean, this role play has to change. Ki bhai, father is working all the while and the mother is the home buddy, and even if she's working, the food is her responsibility. Even if she's working, the kids are her responsibility, the in-laws are her responsibility. I think this should change, and I think it is changing. What would you say? Do you agree?
Yeah.
You think it's changing?
Yeah.
It is
I
changing.
think
I mean,
it
coming from
is changed.
you come from a conservative Sikh family, and I
Yeah.
know that mother-in-law being a Sardani of the old school of thought is very, very encouraging, which is very heartening. You love your mother-in-law more. Yeah.
Definitely. I think families are evolving, but also what I feel is it's you have to choose to, as you said, you have to choose and make your own path. It's like
Right.
no, it's not going to be given to you in a particular way. If you're looking for
No.
change, you have to lead the
True that.
change and create a path for yourself.
Yeah.
And as you said, each journey has its own part and parcel challenges.
Trials,
Like
tribulations. Yeah.
working, not working, it doesn't matter.
There is no definite formula for anything. I mean,
Yeah,
I can give you advice, you can take advice from a counselor and everything, but ultimately it's going to be you and your own scenario, you and your own skills, you and your own talent, you and your own ambition, you and your own mental frame. It all plays together. I was lucky in a way that this was not my bread and butter. It was not my bread. This was
yeah.
my butter.
That,
Like,
that is my next question. That is my
initially,
next question.
initially, as I mentioned, I was working due to economical reasons, but over a period of time, it became my butter.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was lucky.
But yeah, this is one thing that most of the females who work get. Like, this is one comment or a judgment that does come from everywhere, which is like, you are not the earning the bread and butter of the house. So your work might not be the first
Very
priority.
important. Yes,
It's
yes.
not that important, and you might have to adjust a little bit or slow down a little bit to adjust to other people's requirement. So this is the most common problem I think women face. So how
Yeah,
do you yeah, so
I've
what
also gone
advice would you
through it.
like to
There's no advice. You have to bear it. You have to bear it, and you have to keep your chin up and move on. Because you see, if your husband's earning much more than you, and you are earning little less than your husband, then of course he's the main
Yeah,
head of the family who's earning more than you. But if the roles were vice versa, then there are other problems. Okay, so we're
yeah,
not going in that
definitely.
direction. We're not going in that direction at all, because that's a separate topic altogether. But no, if you are earning, you're earning. To me, if I'm earning, maybe even say 20,000 rupees a month, it's important to me because I'm doing something. I am also working hard in keeping few fires burning of some my employees' homes. So I don't care if I'm to. I mean, often I have also faced this when when I've been told that, okay, what the hell are you doing with your time? If you're working so hard, where is all the hard work that where's the fruits of your hard labor and all? It hurts at times. It hurts, but then too bad, because I think I am in the right direction, and I'm convinced I'm not hurting anybody in my pursuit of my job and my excellence. I just move on. um, this is a very common complaint from in-laws and from husband and from the कि भाई तुम कमा रही हो तो पर you are the second breadwinner, but you are responsible. It's very sad, it's very true, but it has to be dealt with. There's no other way. I
Yeah.
can't counsel you on this. I can't counsel you on any of these. You have to bear it. You have to smile, keep your chin up, keep your dedication on, and keep moving. And like I said, keep your in-laws in the loop. It really helps. It really
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah. So let us come from children's perspective, like when their moms are working. Because did your kids ever told you that, oh, you're not available, or maybe you're not coming for the parent teacher meetings, or did you ever face where your kids actually told that they needed you and you were not there?
No, no, no. Mercifully not. But I'll share a funny trivia with you. My son Zaran was in Centerpoint School, and I was just hold once for a parent-teacher meet, and never ever. And I was thinking, wow, I'm so lucky. Like I'm not getting any complaints. Years later, I was told that this little Johnny Chaplin used to tear off the paper. The teacher would call me for a meeting with that. He's in trouble or he's troubling in the class. He would tear off and come home. So I never knew. So no wonder the teachers must have thought I was a lousy mother. I was too busy
Yeah.
working and never came for the parent-teacher meet. But that was the funny part of it. I don't think my children ever said that to me. In fact, my daughter, at a very young age, I remember she was in 8th standard. She said two things to me which still remain to my heart. And she said, "Mama, slow down. Why are you working so hard? Why are you pushing yourself so much?" Because I would really work a lot. I mean, I still do. And she said that when she was very young, and it's still very special to me. And she said one more thing, Mama, all my friends' mothers go to parlors and they go for parties in the daytime, they go for coffees. Why don't you go? I don't know if she remembers having said this to me, but I remember these two remarks and precious to me. But I don't think they've ever said that you are not there. I mean, she has fought with me in times when I'm not able to give her time, when she wants to go a party and clothes and also. But my focus has never been that. So maybe on that regard, she may be upset with me. But no, my son has never said that. So I've
Yeah,
been
but
lucky.
I have seen you closely and your family closely. I love the bond that you guys have with each other. Like the
Yeah.
humor, the lightness, the humor, and maybe you've created a space where they can talk about so many things, which is at ease. So, uh, th- so how does it changes when you as a parent evolve? Does it create more bonding, and does it create more maybe more qualitative time together rather than quantitative?
Yeah, this I think is more from a Parsi background, not from my Punjabi or Pahari background, where children are talked to at a level. In Parsi homes, they talk to the children at the same level. So I think they're over mature for my liking. I would like them to be more, more, relaxed and more. But theek hai, it's all part of the upbringing. But yes, there is a definite bond. And my children themselves say things like, "Hey, Mama, we find that our home is so different from other homes.
Yeah.
We still take pains to eat together. We still take pains to talk about things. It's mostly my husband who's doing all the talking to them, not me. I would say that I'm doing most of the shouting. So definitely, today's kids, they have far more exposure. They are more technically evolved than we are. So I think if we make it an effort to talk to them, we tend to learn a lot more than from them. Sometimes even vice versa. So I think it pays you in the long run if you actually build a bond with your kids at a particular level and not be that parent child kind of a thing. You can talk to them, keep talking to them all the time, keep chatting with them, enjoy common things. Like my husband and my daughter are very fond of cooking. I'm not. So they bond over a travel shows, they bond over food cookery shows. So they have their own things. They are happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So also, like there are so many women that I talk to, and they admire women who are working and evolving. And this is one comment that comes like, maybe your entrepreneur skills are really helping you as a parent as well. So, what do you have to say about that?
See, I'll be honest with you. I was an entrepreneur by default. I have
Yeah,
always been working. I always had a boss. And till today, my company is 25 years old this March. How do I know? Because I quit working when my daughter was born. As I told you that I had to compromise on working and start my own thing to spend more time and to juggle to and fro. Um, so I do feel, I mean, there is a pattern. There's a pattern. And in your own scenario, you have to identify that pattern and then deal with it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you want to rephrase that question for me again?
Yeah. So, what I was asking, like you, when you grow, like when you are an evolved person, like you, because I have seen you with such a growth mindset. So, it also add value as a parent, and does the conversation change with your kids, and how different it can be when women is also evolved in a family and going out and working, which is a choice. It doesn't
So
have to be working as a career. Yeah.
one thing is right that I do know that a lot of women do appreciate and look up to women entrepreneurs. That is
Yeah.
really true. Because you do sense that they also want to work, they also want to do things, they also want an identity of their own, they also want to be known by others. And I'm all for that. And therefore,
Yeah.
I said, that if you believe in it, you must work hard towards it. As far as my children are concerned or my family scenario is concerned, being an entrepreneur, we don't have ever much chats because my thinking is at a different wavelength and there's a different wavelength. So we've not really. I don't think I qualify for that perception of yours. I don't because I don't discuss my work with them much. They are both working in their own separate fields. So I don't think that works out with me.
Okay, that's brilliant. So awesome. I think we have really shared about a lot many, we have touched areas which are coming from youngsters to teenagers and conversations which are comfortable, uncomfortable, all of that. So as we part, and what advice or what is it that you would like to give it to our viewers who
There's
are
a
looking?
question I can see. I'm sorry for interrupting. Who sent this
Yeah.
question? Do you feel like your professional skills are up to date? What do you do to keep pace with your work? Who's asked me this question? Is it anybody you know? Or can I answer that?
Yes, please.
So the first question is, do you feel like your professional skills are up to date? I will say no, not at all. I'm not skilled at all in my profession. This is not my line. Printing is not my line. Designing is not my line. I have come into it by default. I have grown with it over a period of time. I've learned over a period of time. And I'm trying to keep my skills update just by watching, learning. I have no professional qualification in this. I'm actually a lecturer, a teacher. So that is my skill. But I'm doing this for last 25 years. So I better say that this is my new job altogether. What do you do to keep pace with your work? I just work. I just jog. I just run. I do my work very sincerely. My work is very, very important to me. I take my work very seriously. And if sometimes when people poof poof it, it really bugs me. It really disturbs me because to do this, my company's work. I don't know how many of you know what I do. I work with paper, okay, and I do take credit of changing the face of gifting in Nagpur. Like for
Yeah.
example, you all put in पैसे शगुन के लिफाफे आप देते हैं तो they would say ले 100 रुपए दे ऊपर से तुम्हारे 20 रुपए दे शगुन लिफाफे के नहीं 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 and then even the art of gifting in the gift bags, wrapping paper, everything. So I'm quite proud of it that we've done this in Nagpur and now also pan India and abroad. So like I said, that my work is very important to me, and I think my passion goes across to my clients, and it's a happy feeling when you do a job well done.
Yeah, how amazing. And the last but not the least question, what are the rewards for a woman who choose to work, and what are the rewards of being a working mom?
The best reward is when your kids support you and they say that they're proud of you. and they even try to help you in all little measures they can. That is the best reward. And to me, my best reward has been that my kids have turned out well. Today, the mothers feel a lot of, they have under a lot of challenge. First of all, the barrage of social media, the peer pressure, the education pressure. So, keeping all this in mind, I'm glad that my kids have grown drugs free, alcohol free. They have done well. They have done brilliantly in their academics, brilliantly, and they're doing very well in their professional pursuits, of which I'm really proud of. And to me, at the end of the day, that is my reward.
How amazing is that? Brilliant. So I think that's the reward that we all would love to have. And one more thing that I would like to add, like I've seen people and mothers, maybe especially women who are working after a particular space when their kids have their own nest. They're still not coming from a space of needing their kids, but each and every time there is a it's more like a sharing of ideas and enjoying the family time and more of that. So that's one of the rewards. It's you are happy. I think when you choose your path, you choose your career, you choose whatever, whether it's an NGO, whether you're social working, whatever you choose for yourself, I think you are happy, your kids are happy. A happy moms makes
You know,
happy.
I would suggest that, yeah, happy moms make happy moms actually, because then you don't take out all your frustration on your children and their children respond accordingly. I would say, please work if you can work, because it gives you your own identity. It gives you some self satisfaction. And once the nest is empty, how do you pass your time? How much coffee can you drink? How many cards can you play? How many parties can you attend? Feel good about yourself. Do something from home without compromising on anything. If you have to step out and work, find that balance. It's not impossible. Trust me, it's not impossible. And enjoy
Absolutely.
yourself. Enjoy yourself. Don't bring stress home. I know it's natural and it's very easy to say don't bring stress home, but enjoy yourself. Because if you enjoy working, you'll perform better. If you enjoy working, performing better, your kids will, you'll deal with your kids also better. With all the
Yeah.
frustrations at home, your kids will face the brunt, and then the whole family atmosphere gets very negative. So that's my bottom line.
Awesome. Ending up with a great, great note. And thank you so much. I so look forward to learn more and more from you and have more conversations. I love it because you, just by being yourself, you have a ripple effect around you that changes the persona of people who are around you. Thank you so
That's
much.
nice. That's nice of you to say that, Parveen. Means much to me. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Let's stay connected. Thanks. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.